Will Carti outsell Uzi? No. No. Especially with what Uzi's doing right now with Just Wanna Rock and Watch This, which if he was smart, he would put that as bonus tracks or something on Pink Tape just so they can boost up the sales, because they already know they can project better what the Pink Tape is going to do first week sales wise. If they put those songs, because they can already track the trajectory of the streams on a weekly basis for the songs currently. You know what I'm saying? So like if it's getting 1 million right now, it's probably going down to like 950,000 next week, 925 the next, 900, and so on and so forth. So when you drop the album and it has that song on there, you can already predict that, say it's going to get 1 million views or 1 million streams across all platforms, calculate how many albums that is. You already boosted your album that much. Is Uzi outselling Travis? Now that is a good question, especially because merch bundles are getting a little bit more strict. However, from my understanding of the merch bundles, you to count your merch bundles, you just have to send out the merch bundles. I mean, you have to, there's like a specific thing as well where there has to be a individual digital album for like a certain amount of money. You can't just slap it onto every single merch bundle or every single t-shirt and whatever, and then it just counts. It has to be an add-on. Now, after that, I have no idea, because I'm sure that the rules are still gray and they can finesse it for certain people, and you can basically buy first week sales. If you got the bread. But as I was saying, if you send out the t-shirts or like sell tickets or whatever you're bundling the merch or the albums with, you just have to send it out the first week. And if you send it out within the first week, then I still think that they count. So if Travis is able to do that, he is the king of like productizing his brand, whereas Uzi's more of like a streaming artist than Travis. Travis was selling like 250 just strictly streams with Astroworld. Mind you, he had a bunch of features in there, even Drake and et cetera, et cetera. Whereas Uzi was just completely solo and Eternal Take. Mind you, he had a lot of hype around that album, but so did Travis. He hasn't dropped in 5 years. But yeah, Uzi streamed more technically with Eternal Take than Astroworld, but Travis can sell like 250K first week just solely off merch bundles too. So it really comes down to how well Travis can finesse it, because that's the easiest way to sell albums. If you can like sell vinyls, because that's technically an album, right? If you put a whole album, you program it or whatever you call it on a vinyl, then you're buying a CD essentially, and that's one album. So if you can sell vinyl, that's the easiest way to sell copies. And Travis, again, he has like a collectible type culture around his fan base with like the t-shirts and whatever. So I think Travis can outsell Uzi, but because of that fact, Travis doesn't have a Just Wanna Rock type song. That's true. But if you know Travis, and I know you do, Travis is the king of like big singles like Highest in the Room and among others, where he can just get a Drake feature easy. And so could Uzi as well, but I feel like a Travis Drake feature or collab is inevitable, whereas Uzi Drake, I don't know, like that's almost wishful thinking. I know they have a collab that's unreleased, but it's almost expected for the Travis Drake because they already have some in the future. I mean, in the past. You right, kind of hope Uzi sells 250K with all the hype. Carti easily will sell 150. I hope so, man. I hope so. I want Carti to keep going up. I just think that his music is getting a little bit more and more niche, although I think that his brand as a whole is getting bigger. But like when you go into like the more rock star type stuff, like he's just going to continue dissecting his fan base, and he's gonna see how far he can push his fan base to go with him down this black hole or satanic hole to hell. Whereas before, he had a music that was just kind of like hype beast streetwear, like, you know, the young kids mess with, not kids, but like the youth mess with. Now he still has young fans, but it's more vamps. Whereas, you know, now Yeet has more of this youth culture that's getting behind him because it's more we've already talked about this. It's more like palatable. Like you could play that in public, Afterlife, and it would be still somewhat regular. Whereas if you played a Whole Lotta Red or Rockstar, people like that's expected to be played in Spencer's. His aesthetic is getting better. His rock rage fi too. I agree. Look, I'm all for the Carti album and Carti aesthetic. I think it's amazing. I'm really hyped for this album. I'm just trying to see it from an objective lens, and I could be wrong too. But I just think overall, you know, Uzi's brand, we all know, is just way bigger, and like he just is more mainstream type music than Carti, and he always has been, and that's why he's been a bigger artist always. Uzi ain't selling big. Well, he's on Billboard, bruh. He's on Billboard. You can't stop him with 2 songs, I want to say. Does anything else happen? Hopefully, like I don't see no tits on here. That would just be unfortunate that I get banned right there. Uzi is his peak. His rockstar aesthetic is cringe now. I just think that it's more positive, like it's more light, whereas Carti's rockstar image is more dark.